Yo, what's up, yo? This is me, DMC, and the place to be, and the only place for you to ever be is right here, checking out Amerime Media. Nowhere else in this universe.
What he said. Hey everybody, it's Corey Salter True Floyd. We're here at Keystone Comic Con, and I have the distinct privilege of sitting next to one of the most creative minds of our time.
Hey, thank you.
Some of you might know him as a member of a illustrious musical group of Run DMC. I know him as Darryl from Darryl Makes Comics.
Yes.
Darryl, say hello to everybody.
What's up, y'all? What's happening? DMC in a place to be. Darryl Makes Comics just like Stan Lee.
I'm just really so delighted to have you here today.
Thank you.
Because a lot of people who follow your music
Right.
don't even know this side of you.
Right, but the Easter eggs was always there. King of Rock, 1985. Crash through walls, come through floors, bust through ceilings, and knock down doors. Rappers don't do that. Superheroes do that. But by me speaking that, I was able to do that in the music industry and on the same record. When Run says, DJ Run, I could scratch. I don't go, I'm DMC, I could rap. I go, I'm DMC, I could draw. So before hip hop and rock and roll, all I did was read, collect, and draw comic books.
Okay.
That was my whole life as a kid.
So, growing up drawing, who were some of your biggest inspirations?
Started with Batman and the Flash and the DC superheroes, but then in second grade, it was Marvel comic books. Oh, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, Spider-Man, the Hulk, the Vision, the Avengers, Ghost Rider, the Werewolf, everything Marvel, because Marvel, Stan Lee was brilliant because he put the superheroes in New York. So as a little kid who couldn't leave the block, what was beautiful about Marvel comic books, when I opened up one of those books, I saw the world that I really lived in. Spider-Man lived in Queens. I live in Queens. DMC, I come from Queens. The reason why I shouted out Queens so much on my records is because I didn't believe Peter Parker. I couldn't believe Peter Parker lived there. So for me, it was Marvel comic books because it was real. And that was my whole life, all the way up till 1979, until Rapper's Delight dropped. And I only liked Rapper's Delight because of the Superman rhyme. Big Bang Hank's rhyme was about Superman. I really didn't care too much about the rest of it. That, when you connect with something,
just hear the reference.
Yeah.
So, you're a big Marvel fan. Is that why a lot of your, especially your comic book, is that why that art style looks very much like Marvel?
Yeah, me and
from
my
the lines
partner,
down to the shadings.
Everything. Me and my partner, the guy Riggs Morales, who was Eminem's right-hand man, A&R over at Shady Records for the rise of that great empire. He's the one that convinced me to do the comic book. And the comic book came about, we was having a music meeting, but it turned into a comic book meeting for 3 hours once we both knew that we loved comic books prior to hip-hop coming into our lives. And it was just like, he was a Puerto Rican kid from New York. I'm a black kid from Queens, New York, and different sides of the world, but those comic books, kung fu movies, big shout out to Wu-Tang, was the connecting thing before music came into our lives. And Marvel was the huge, the Lower East Side, Hell's Kitchen, like Stan Lee was brilliant to make New York City a character in all those great
New York
books.
City is
So
definitely a character.
we are products of that Marvel New York City 60s, 70s, 80s, up until now style.